Undefeated UFC Featherweight prospect Sean Woodson. What's going on, Sean? How's life right now?
Amazing, man. Now I got a fight coming up. Couldn't be happier.
All right, before we get to all that fight stuff, I know you have a deep background in boxing, and today I just saw on the news, USADA, they released something about this Olympic boxer. She was popped for prohibited substances, right? And they did an investigation, and then they found out she somehow ingested it or got it into her system through unprotected sex. What is your reaction to that?
This is my first time hearing about it. That's crazy, man. I wonder how they're gonna handle that. Like, are they gonna come down hard on her or what? She got a banned substance through sex?
Yeah, unprotected sex. Like, she somehow ingested it, right? So we could speculate how that happened. But USADA's like they're letting her go. You know what I mean? They're not prosecuting her. They're not suspending her. They did the investigation, so she's all good now. But it's crazy how that could happen to you.
Yeah, that's wild, man. I've never heard anything like that. That's crazy, man. All this stuff. Yeah, USADA, man, they don't play around. If it's something in there that ain't supposed to be in you, they gonna find it.
Definitely, it is. It is wild. It should scare some people out there, right?
Hell yeah, that got me worried, and that got me worried, and that don't got nothing to do with me.
All right, now, like I said earlier, boxing was a big part. You're very successful when you were growing up. I want to know your top 5 dead or alive boxers. List them out.
Top 5 dead or alive. Muhammad Ali for sure. Roy Jones Jr. Tyson Fury. Vitaly Klitschko. Are you familiar with Vitaly Klitschko?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Muhammad Ali, Roy Jones Jr., Tyson Fury, Vitaly Klitschko. Man, that fifth one to beat. Gotta go with Floyd Mayweather.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. Roy Jones Jr., man, that's like, to me, he's very close to the top, man.
Oh,
just
yeah.
talent-wise.
Him and Ali, those are my boxing idols,
yeah,
man.
spectacular. Now, when you look at those boxers, like, do you take anything from them and use their style, or is there any particular boxer?
Oh, yeah, 100%, man. I take bits and pieces from all my favorite fighters, like Ali, man, his mental warfare. I love that. Roy Jones Jr., his slickness, and, Floyd Mayweather, his, defensive techniques, and Tyson Fury, his jab and the way he uses his range. Yeah, I take bits and pieces from all my favorite fighters and just add it to my style. I don't pick. A lot of people I see, they pick one fighter that they really like and they try their best to fight just like that fighter. But no, I take bits and pieces for all my favorite fighters and just put it all in one.
What about when Anderson Silva put his back against the cage and did the Roy Jones Jr.? When you saw that, what was your? How did you react to that? That was fun.
That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, oh, he hit the Roy Jones. Yeah. I love that, man. I love when I see guys, do that in the midst of fights. They pay homage to, the greats before us. And, I love that stuff, man.
Yeah, it's fun. Now, your UFC debut last October, very dominant performance. When you look back at it now, since many months have passed, what did you not like about that fight?
Man, I didn't like that I didn't get the finish, man. And it was right there in the palm of my hands. But, I mean, that's credit to my opponent, Kyle Bochniak, dude. He has a chin of steel. 9 out of 10 guys I think would have went down from those shots I landed on him. But yeah, he's just a rare breed, man. He has a granite chin. But yeah, when I look back at that fight, man, I feel like I really could have finished it, and I'm mad that I didn't. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than that, I'm pretty satisfied with the performance. I felt I didn't have any octagon jitters. I felt calm, cool, and collected. I felt like home in there, really. But yeah, this fight, I'm definitely going to be hunting that finish. If I get, I hurt this guy and put him on wobbly legs, he's getting put away. I'm not letting him off the hook.
When you face a guy like Bochniak that just comes forward and he doesn't stop, a lot of guys would fold. I think that's what happens to a lot of guys that he's faced in the past. Like, he just takes the punishment and just moves forward, and then he gets that finish later on. And for you mentally, facing a guy like that and then, being able to last all the way to the bell, does that take you up a notch?
Oh, well, I mean, I knew as much as he was coming forward, I knew he really wasn't trying to, have these exchanges with me. He was trying to get me to open up and let my hands go so he could, get underneath and shoot and get me to the ground, trying to open up so the takedown would be there, He shot 15 times in that fight. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't, as much as he was coming forward and walking me down, he really was just he was looking for that takedown the whole time. And I knew that. So yeah, that's really what was in my mind. I'm like, I was just looking to stop that takedown.
When your opponents are shooting for takedowns all the time, that means that you're doing something well, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, they're all. I don't care who I fight, man. You can give me the best striker in the world. I'm gonna turn him into a wrestler.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you talked about getting back into the cage in January, taking on Steven Peterson. That never happened. But before the pandemic hit, were there any other talks of any other opponents or any other events that you were going to be on?
Well, I had got an offer to fight February on that John Jones card, but it was on like 6 days notice or something like that. Damn. I just couldn't make it. Sorry about that. And I just couldn't make the weight. But outside of that, my manager told me 2 opponents turned me down. I had 2 other opportunities, but those guys turned me down. And but yeah, other than that, I had an opportunity May 16th. That's pretty public. I was supposed to fight Jared Gordon. And yeah, he turned that down, which, I got mixed feelings about that. But yeah, outside of that, yeah, I was supposed to fight February, couldn't cut the weight in time. And then 2 guys turned me down. May 16th with Jared Gordon didn't pan out. But yeah, now here we are.
Why do you have mixed feelings about the Jared Gordon fight? You really wanted that one.
Yeah, man, because to be honest, if I'm being honest, his reasons for not taking the fight just didn't make sense to me. He had already been training for that fight. He was, prepared. And, I was looking on his Instagram. He was in shape, ready to fight, cutting weight and everything. And his reason for not taking the fight was that, I had only had 1 fight in the UFC and, I just wasn't worth it, I guess. But the opponent he was originally scheduled to fight, had I think his record was like 8-3 or something like that. And he maybe had 2 fights in the UFC. It's not like he was fighting a top 15 guy or somebody really up there. Like the opponent he was originally scheduled to fight was, in the same bracket as me. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, I didn't really understand his reasoning behind it. I think he just knew that, he had a tough matchup in front of him. He knew, what I was going to bring to the table. And yeah, all his excuses for not taking that fight, I just didn't agree with him.
Well, 3 fights, 3 guys turned you down. Is that something you expected heading into the UFC? Or was that something you were blown out the water about because it's like, hey, I thought we were all supposed to fight. You know what I mean? We're fighters.
Yeah, man. It really blew me away. Like, I had that problem on the regional scene back, in my local area. But once I got to the UFC, man, I didn't think I would have that issue at all. And, to be honest, like if you look at my YouTube videos and even my performance against Bosniak, I don't feel like I really showed all that much. I know for a fact I didn't show, what I'm really capable of. So I'm like, man, these guys must have a really good eye because like I haven't even showed what I'm capable of yet, but they must see something and know what's up, man. But yeah, it's really thrown me off, to be honest.
Yeah, with the new crop of fighters coming in, like yourself, and being on the Contender Series and having these spectacular performances, a lot of guys, I feel they're kind of avoiding you, the type of fighters that just like yourself. But eventually they can't avoid it. They have to fight you because if you keep winning, there's no denying it.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that a lot where guys, they'll say guys who have been in the UFC, they'll say, I don't want a Contender Series guy. I don't want a Contender Series guy. But, I just don't. I don't really understand that. It's like, we're fighters, man. You're supposed to, the motto is anybody, anywhere, anytime, it's like, what happened to that? But it just kills me that, guys, they have 3-4 fights in the UFC and all of a sudden they're, on their high horse and they're like, I'm not fighting nobody who's coming off Contender Series. It just blows my mind, man. I won't turn down anybody anytime ever.
The pandemic hits, I think, late February, around that time. Were you trapped in the house just like everybody else?
Yeah. But yeah, when the pandemic hit, everything was on lockdown, couldn't go anywhere, but it didn't really change anything for me. I still was consistently training, behind the scenes, just couldn't post about it. But yeah, I was training nonstop. And outside of that, even when things are regular outside of the pandemic, I pretty much train and just come home and stay to myself. I stay in the house a lot already as it is, so it didn't really affect me much at all.
So it was basically like a very long extended training camp for you?
Yeah, pretty much, man. Pretty much. It was just hard trying to time, weight cutting and, stuff like that. And not knowing, when my next fight would be, trying to. I'm a guy who cuts a lot of weight, so I can't keep my weight low forever. You know what I'm saying? I gotta let my body, get back up to where it likes to walk around at. And during this pandemic, they're not handing out full fight camps. Pretty much, every fight that's booked is on like 2-3 weeks notice. So yeah, just trying to stay ready for that has been a challenge. But I mean, hey, that's a fight game for you, man. Challenges left and right.
Definitely. Well, you get that notice, 3 weeks. What adjustments you make to get into I guess a training camp?
Yeah, well, it wasn't a full 3 weeks. I got about 16 days notice. It was about 16 days and 2 weeks and a couple days. But what changed for me? I was back home in St. Louis, my hometown. That's where I live and that's where I normally train at. But whenever I split my time. I train at home. That's where I live, St. Louis, and then I come out to Glory and stay out here for a month or two at a time. And whenever I get a fight booked is when I pack up and come out here to Glory. So yeah, the moment we got this fight booked, I packed my bags and came out here to Glory to get some training in and train with my guys James Krause, Grant Dawson, all those killers out here. And yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, got this fight on 2 weeks notice and headed out to Glory, and that's where I am right now.
Oh, so training is basically normal then, heading into a fight with the normal training partners then.
Yeah. Just I mean, the only thing that ain't normal is just the 2 weeks notice. But yeah. I was able to get back out here and train with my regular training partners. Yep.
Now your opponent coming up is Kyle Nelson. Was he a guy that you've noticed in the past before you even agreed to fight him?
I'd only watched one fight of his. I watched his last fight live where he was in UFC Mexico against Polo Reyes. And yeah, I remember watching that live with some of my friends and seeing him get, land that devastating elbow and got that cool knockout. And I was like, oh, that was nice. And I just was impressed by that. And at the time, I honestly didn't even think about, getting matched up with him. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy when they offered me the fight. I vividly remembered. I'm like, oh, I remember watching his last fight live. Like, I remember seeing this dude fight. Tough dude.
Did you go back and watch the other 2 fights that he's had previously?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I watched this fight with Diego and Matt Sales, and yeah, he's a gamer, man. He's tough. He brings the fight. He was winning that fight with Diego. I saw he hurt him a couple times until he went to the ground, and that was Diego's world. He took over from there, and yeah, he's a tough dude. My toughest opponent to date for sure, and I'm looking forward to going in here and making a statement this fight, putting on a even better performance than last time, and a performance that'll, have them not make me wait 8-9 months to get in the fight. After this fight, I want them to be like, well, we want to get this kid right back in here and get him right back in action.
With him, he seems like either he finishes the fight or he gets finished. That plays into your style of fighting?
Yeah, I love it, man. That's I don't like going. I mean, I know I have some decisions on my record, but I hate going to decision. Like that's my ideal way to end the fight. Either I finish him or he finishes me, and him having that same exact style, I think is going to make for an exciting fight, man. Like we're going to get some bonus money. Somebody's going to get some bonus money out of this fight for sure. So one of us or both of us. I'm excited for it.
This is a catchweight fight. Did you decide on that, or was it the other side? What was the
that
negotiation?
That had nothing to do with me, man. That catchweight didn't have anything to do with it. That was all him. Yeah, I'm able to make 45 right now, even on short notice. He was the one who asked for the 150 catchweight, and I didn't want to be picky, and maybe miss out on this opportunity. So I just took what they give me. You want a 150 catchweight, I'm all for it.
That's nice. Well, it's better for you too, right? It's 5 more pounds.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Those 5 pounds is definitely, that makes a huge difference. You know what I'm saying? That makes a huge difference. So, yeah, this is my first time fighting at 150 in a nice little minute. And I've been enjoying being able to eat pretty good.
Yeah. I saw some of the stories they've been putting up about your meals.
Yeah,
they look hefty.
Barbecue. Yeah, me and Krause been getting some barbecue after training, man. It's been nice.
Yeah. Now, are you the type to be following the division and watching the top of the division and seeing what's going on, or do you not pay attention to that?
Oh no, 100%. I watch any and everybody. I mean, not just my division. I'm a huge fan of the sport. I watch every fight, all the fights, all the time. Now,
I want to get your thoughts on some of the fights, featherweight fights that are coming up that are going to be very pivotal for the division, for the title race. First off is Volkanovski versus Holloway 2. Now, what do you think about that fight, and who do you see coming out on top?
That's a good one. I'm really looking forward to it. I think Holloway is going to make their proper adjustments and get his belt back. I was surprised that I was surprised the way Volkanovski performed. I think he caught Max Holloway by surprise, maybe, and Max Holloway wasn't fully, prepared for him. But I think this fight, I see Max Holloway making some adjustments and getting his belt back. I don't see Volkanovski being able to do that to Holloway twice in a row.
Brian Ortega versus the Korean Zombie. I feel like this fight is the one of the most anticipated in the division. Volkanovski and Holloway, of course, that's a good fight, but man, this one has some like little sauce to it. You know what I mean? They got that little beef going on and everything. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm excited. That's official? That's booked already?
Yeah, August 15th, I believe.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I know they got some little backstory. I know Brian slapped up one of Korean Zombie's people, and I'm really excited for that one. Korean Zombie, that's one of my favorite fighters, man. I think I really think he's gonna be champion one day, if I'm being honest, man. I think he's gonna be champ one day. I'm looking forward to that fight, though. That's gonna be a good fight. Brian Ortega, he's no slouch. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a tough fight for him, but yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
And then the last one is the Yair Rodriguez versus Zabit. I feel like this is stylistically is crazy right here.
Yeah, those guys, that's gonna be fireworks for sure. They got pretty similar, the same style, like super flashy. You know what I'm saying? Flashy kicks, like to spin. Real fast and elusive. That's gonna be a good one, man. I that's hard to pick. Zabit seems to gas out in the late. Is that a 5-round fight?
They haven't determined that yet.
Okay, if it's a 5-round fight, I'm gonna have to go with Yair. But if it's man, that's tough, man. 5-round fight, I'm gonna go with Yair. But if it's a regular 3-round fight, I'll go with Zabit. He's the taller and longer guy. I'd go with Zabit.
Yeah, one thing that separates him, I believe, is that Yair, he has finishes. Not just one, but he has multiple finishes standing up, knockouts. That Korean Zombie knockout is probably one of the greatest of all time, right?
Yeah, that was insane. I've never seen anything like that. That was insane. That was one of the greatest knockouts of all time for sure. 100%.
They're talking about buzzer beaters with Cody. That Yair Rodriguez was the buzzer beater of all time. He got the best buzzer beater.
Yeah, best buzzer beater of all time. Man, you can't beat that. Like that elbow, like you can't. I don't think nobody can duplicate that, even if they tried. Man, that was insane.
Were you at the gym? Tried that the next week after you saw that?
Hell, that move so hell no, I wouldn't even try that. It's so crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a move that you would get yourself in some trouble. Looking at me, but he pulled it off, man. It was beautiful. I loved it. It was beautiful.
Well, you go in there, you get a good performance, maybe even a quick finish. Is Fight Island in your plans, man? Because it seems like they're only doing it for 1 month, or is it just like I'm gonna fight and then I'm gonna go maybe August, September? I'm gonna wait. Man,
everybody is making a big to do about this Fight Island, and everybody man, they can have that. They can have that. I don't want no parts of Fight Island. The Fight Island sounds cool. I just don't want no parts of that 15, 18-hour plane ride, man. Yeah. I'm cool on that. I would rather go in here, get a quick, clean finish. No injuries, and turn around and fight in August, right back in Vegas, at home, quick 2-3 hour flight. That's it. That's what I want.
Yeah. Also, it's like 110 degrees in
Abu Dhabi. All them dudes petitioning and fighting for that. They are crazy to me. They can have that. I'm good. I am good.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're honest, because it seems like a lot of people get caught up in the Fight Island. It's not even an island, it's a peninsula, right? So it's not even real. So it's kind of funny. But if you want to go out there and fight, that's great. If you don't want to, I completely understand what you're talking about. That plane ride, number one. Number two is that weather. It's not
right. I don't even think guys are even thinking about that. They're not even factoring that in. They're like, Fight Island, I want Fight Island. I'm like, wait till you get on that plane and and on top of that a weight cut. Like, I don't like flying as is, so dealing with being on a plane for damn near 20 hours while you're cutting weight, like, dude, that I can't even imagine how, you'd be miserable. And then you got to turn around and finish making weight, and then you got to fight. And damn that. I'm Vegas for me. Vegas for me all day.
Well, Sean, thank you so much for the time, man. July 27th, Las Vegas, like you said, your second trip to the Octagon. I'm excited for you.
Sir.
Good luck on the fight. Good luck on everything that you're doing outside the cage. Stay safe, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the time. Appreciate you interviewing me, man. And, yeah, looking forward to talking with you again after this performance.